Well, Cary Chun calls himself a garage scientist. His love for science and space motivated him to make what typically are very expensive weather recording instruments. And get this, he made them all by hand. And Cary joins us now because you're from just outside the Atlanta area. And you started out as a hobby, you said, and then turned it into a science experiment.
Yes.
So this was something that you were just kind of interested in. You had a fascination with weather, but you said that you didn't really have the budget to go and buy maybe the props that you wanted. So you had to use basically, what, your allowance?
Yes, I used my allowance to buy all the PVC parts, and most of the rest of it was just scavenged from parts around my house.
Okay, so this is basically your weather recording station, and you told me that this is the first time it's really had a break from recording weather outside your house. So can you tell people at home basically how you made it and what kind of measurements you're able to take with it?
Okay. The device was meant to be packed into a small space here and then hiked out into a remote location, and then the scientists or me would go out and check it depending on how many weather data that you wanted to collect. The device has a rain gauge, which is right on the inside. It also has a seismometer. It has the weather mast here, which has two wind socks, an anemometer, and then a wind vane. All
right, and you said you made this with some PVC pipes that you went to buy at like Home Depot, but also stuff you found around your house. What other objects did you find that you used to make this?
Well, the roofing material was just lying around my house for the longest of time. I just cut the size. The wood, of course, has been lying in the wood pile forever.
All right, cool. And you go out and you take these measurements by hand every day then?
Right. Yes, I record them into my scientific journal.
All right, now how long does it take to make a seismometer exactly?
Well, the seismometer, I designed it for a couple of weeks, and then I purchased the PVC parts, and then it took me probably an afternoon to put together.
Okay, so we're not talking about a big project. The neat thing of what you're doing is you're actually saying, like, hey, you don't have to go buy these things. It's actually pretty easy to make.
This is totally something that somebody, just everyday Joe could do.
All right, and you've also told us that during the process you found that kite flying is better in Ohio than in Georgia. So can you tell us why?
Unfortunately, if you fly kites around here in Georgia, they end up in trees. But out in Ohio, you have wide open spaces. So the meteorological kites are fairly successful in Ohio.
All right, cool. Now you, with all this science and technology experience, you want to be an aerospace engineer. So what's your main mission once you become that? My
ultimate goal as wanting to be an aerospace engineer is I'd like to be on the mission to Europa. And Europa is this random moon on Jupiter, because Jupiter has a lot of moons. Yeah. But what's really exciting about Europa is we've looked at it, and using satellites we can see that it actually has liquid water below the surface. So there is the minute possibility that there's alien life within our solar system.
There you have it. Thank you so much, Cary, for bringing this in and sharing us. You've just seen Alex Wallace, taking pictures during the break. So you're actually making weather and making weather really cool. So thanks for joining us this morning. All right, Alex, we're going to send it over to you. I know what you're working on this afternoon.
Oh, I tell you, kudos to him. Just an amazing job there. Fantastic, awesome stuff. All right, let's talk about the West Coast, because Los Angeles